So this story begins several months ago when I got a text that changed my life. Here's some background information. I, 32-year-old male, and my now ex-wife, Jen, 30-year-old female, had been married for 6 years. Together, we owned a really nice house in the suburbs. I work as a professional food taster and make around $650K annually. Not to brag, which has allowed us to live this lavish lifestyle where my wife doesn't have to work, so she can focus on herself and her hobbies. We don't have any kids, so her days often involve going out and spending time with her other stay-at-home mom friends, and I think she went jogging every morning, not too sure. I never really paid attention to what her hobbies or what she likes. Anyway, a few months back, I received a text from her friend, Tess, the morning after my wife went out to some bar or club with her. It read, "Hey, I know this isn't really my place to tell you, but you need to talk to Jen. Last night something happened between her and another guy. I saw them kiss." Reading this felt like a gut punch. I immediately left work and went home to confront her. As I walked in the door, I saw her sitting on the couch. She looked up at me a bit bewildered that I was home early, and she began to speak. "Hey, there's something I need to tell you." I cut her off. "I know what happened last night," I told her. She began trying to explain the situation, claiming that she didn't know who the guy was and that he kissed her, and she didn't reciprocate before pushing him off. I didn't believe a word she said. "So you admit you kissed?" I asked. "Yep." "That's it, we're done." I told her to pack her bags and that I wanted her out of the house. She began crying and saying that I was overreacting, going on that she has no one she can stay with, her family isn't in the picture. I stopped listening to her. I told her I wanted a divorce and she needed to leave this instant. After everything that I had done for her and being the best husband one could ask for, she betrayed me. I felt miserable as she left. She kept trying to call me after that, but I ignored her calls every day as they came in. A few weeks later, I arrived at the courthouse and the divorce proceedings went smoothly. I hired the best lawyer I could, and he ensured that Jen wouldn't get a cent from me due to some legal loophole. Seeing her, that made me feel a little bad for her. She looked terrible. I heard from a friend that she had been sleeping underneath an overpass, and it really showed. But I was quickly able to push aside my sympathy after reminding myself of the unimaginable pain she caused me through her betrayal. I didn't hear from Jen until a few weeks after that when she called me. I don't know why, but I decided to answer this time, and I didn't expect what I heard next. "Hey, I'm in the hospital," I sighed. She began crying and telling me that something was wrong with her legs and that she needed treatment for it or they would have to amputate. I don't really know the exact details as I was only half listening to her as she talked to me in between sobs. She begged me, asking if I could pay for the surgery to save her legs because she couldn't afford it. She told me she has no one else to turn to for help. I told her that she should have thought about this before she made the choice to cheat on me with someone else. Had she been faithful, I would have helped, of course, but I wanted to stick to my principles that she was on her own from now on. She began crying even harder, so I hung up on her. Several more weeks passed since without hearing from her when I heard a knock on my door late at night. It was pouring rain outside. I opened the door to see Jen sitting on my front doorstep, now a few feet shorter from the lack of legs. She looked up at me as I opened the door. "Please, can you help me? I have nowhere to go," she pleaded. Jen told me how she spent the last of her money on getting a taxi here and she couldn't afford a wheelchair. I raised my voice and told her I never wanted to see her again and that she had to learn how to live on her own like me, that we were both struggling with this divorce and she should stop making everything about her. I never asked for anything from her, so it was unfair that she would ask me for help. Before she could say anything, I closed the door on her. I watched out the window as she crawled away, soaking wet, and getting exactly what she deserved. Now, a few months later, my life couldn't be better. I started dating Tess, and we have been living our best lives. I haven't seen or heard anything from Jen since that rainy night. The other day, I was telling my story to a friend, and he seemed really disturbed with the whole situation. Tess defended me, as did my other friends, but I wanted to hear Reddit's opinion on this situation. Am I the asshole for leaving my disgusting, cheating wife penniless and legless? Or did Jen get exactly what she deserved?